don't have any sort of witty intro for this one. Let's just talk about this. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Ewan McQuaid, and today we are talking about a new documentary that's been released on the WWE network, and that is Never Forget, WWE Returns after 9/11. And this documentary centres around the first SmackDown show back following those tragic events and the sort of ripple effect that had on sort of like the American public as a whole, and the whole backstage influence of putting this show together following such a horrific tragedy. Now this sort of dives in, it takes place sort of as the events occurred on 9/11, following to the SmackDown event that took place in Texas, and we get a deep insight into the sort of mindset of Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard and Paul Heyman, sort of the big creative forces on SmackDown at the time, and sort of how they came to the decision to put together a show following something that made it so public transport, flights were grounded, there was no sort of big gathering of people up until this SmackDown event. NFL games were held off, NBA games, baseball games, everything just went into shutdown. Now, me being sort of, 24 years old, I don't really have many recollections of this event. So my main knowledge comes from, the really heartbreaking documentaries and the sort of memorials that have been put forward about 9/11, and it is a total tragedy, and a really sort of just something you can't put into words, and how sort of it was dealt with in this documentary, I thought did justice to everyone who was involved with the events, from the victims all the way to sort of the firefighters and the emergency services and everyone who was involved. I thought this was a really good look at how WWE's inner workings is used in a good way, and how sort of Vince McMahon's mindset was actually, I think, was right in what he was doing. I think this was a really unique look at how something like this can happen, because it's something just that's you can't comprehend, and to see the humans behind sort of the facade, the Mr. McMahon character, all that, how they come together sort of in unity to put together this show that was feel good. It got the spirits of the people there, it got them really amped up. I think this is one of the best documentaries that WWE have put out in recent memory. It's up there with the Icon series because it's really honest. I think that's the most important thing about documentaries, that it's honest and it captures the realism of the events that it's trying to portray and the events that happened. And I think the talking heads were all done phenomenally well. Paul Heyman in particular, I think, was a standout on this documentary. Vince McMahon himself is there as well. And some of the events, I'm not going to spoil everything because it's only a 35-minute documentary. I don't want to get into full spoilers because it's worth checking out. It really is. It's sort of how that event is put together and the different matches. I really enjoyed that, how these sort of everyone was a babyface coming out of that tragedy. Everyone was cheered. Kurt Angle, The Rock, Austin, all these people were huge babyfaces. And then there's a surprise that I didn't actually know happened following the show, involving Steve Austin and The Rock, that is really heartwarming. And it's something I didn't know, and I thought it was a really heartwarming piece of fan service, to be honest, following those awful events. So overall, I know I'm being a bit vague here, but I don't want to spoil too much of this documentary because it's, like I said, it's a very short one, but it's really powerful. It really is. There's a lot of personal sort of details in this, from Lillian Garcia to, like I said, Paul Heyman, his personal anecdotes. There's a lot of really really interesting stuff in this documentary, and I highly recommend you check it out. Also check out, I believe, Dave Bradshaw's article in the Wrestle magazine. That is also phenomenal. It can go sort of side-by-side piece with this documentary, really. This is 5 out of 5 for me. It's a 5 out of 5 documentary. I'd highly recommend checking it out if you've got the WWE Network, and if not, I believe it's available on YouTube. But yes, highly recommend checking this out. Thank you all ever so much for your support, everyone, and have a nice day.